umaga. So, ngayong araw, ay medyo na-late ako. May ginagawa kasi ako. Medyo busy. Nagkakaroon ulit tayo na
Ano yan, Dal?
nagla-live ako.
Ano daw?
Ayun, the reaction video on Isko Moreno. Dito. So, shoutout ko sa inyo guys. Nalit na lang ako. So, yun. Si Isko Moreno kasi okay naman siya. So, wala kang gadget na ipakita sa inyo. So, ito na lang yung reaction na video. Ay! Hi sir! Jetology, shoutout po. Kamusta? Si Sir Jetology. Kamusta po? Shoutout po. Hindi na kayo naka-upload, di ba? Kasi gagawa na lang po ako ng reaction video. Ayun. Hindi na lang ako nakakas. Pa-work na ako. Ay, ingat po. Ingat, sir. Ayun. Hindi na po kayo nag-upload. Ginawa kasi ako na dito. Nagla-live na lang ako. 2 weeks ako. Busy. Oo nga, busy. Nasa Singapore pa rin po ba kayo? So, yung ano lang naman, reaction video dito. Wala kasi ang magawa kayo. Ayan. Nag-ano tayo ng reaction video. Fast talk.
Senator Lacson?
Kay Isko Moreno.
Pwede naman yung boto rin, ha? Senator Pacquiao? Mabait naman siya eh. Okay naman. Bakit hindi dapat iboto si VP Lenny? Maghihiganti sa mga Marcos at Duterte. Bakit hindi dapat iboto si Senator Marcos? Maghihiganti sa mga Dilawan at Pinklawan. Mayor Isko, bakit hindi dapat iboto? Bakit hindi dapat iboto?
Yun na eh. Ayan, sabi ni Isko, naghihiganti daw siya. Maghihiganti daw si Big Lenny tsaka si Naghihiganti si VP Lenny sa mga Marcos sa Duterte. And then si BBM daw is maghihiganti sa mga Pinklaw at saka Dilawan. So, ewan. So ito, paliwanag niya.
Question na iyo lamang
political battle type.
You have 60 seconds to answer. Wala akong follow-up. In 2007, Mayor Isko, you ran for Vice Mayor under Ascenso Manileño. 2010, nagsali puwersa kayo ni former Mayor Alfredo Lim. In 2012, iniwan mo ang Nationalist Party para sumama sa puwersa ng Masang Pilipino with the former President Joseph Estrada na tumatakbo noon laban sa dati mong kapartido na si Mayor Lim. Noong 2016, tumakbo kang senador, you were adopted by Senator Grace Poe at ang kanyang partido ay galing at puso, and you were also an adopted senator by Senator Bongbong Marcos' party, kung ikaw rin nakamali. 2019, you ran again under Ascenso Manileño. You can answer that. Because your critics accuse you of being a political butterfly. What do you have to say?
Okay. Now, I'm a founder of one of the founding father of Ascenso Manileño. I've never left Ascenso Manileño. Parties that you're mentioning is alliances from the local party which I belong and founded with Danny Lacuna as president and chairman. Never kaming nawalang Ascenso Manila. In fact, ngayon, Tito Boy, isa sa pinakamalaking partido. 80% ng local party is Ascenso Manila. We started with 6. Started in 2007 when we created it. It's now 2022, so that's about 15 years na. And we continue to be Ascenso Manila. And never ko naging party mayor. Si Arap, si Lilin, kasi nag-a-alliance kami. Kami ang kinukuha. Now, political butterfly, with all honesty, I would rather, if I may borrow, my loyalty to the party ends where my loyalty to the people begins, sabi ni Manuel Quezon. Yun ang akin. Ang loyalty ko sa no matter what.
Thank you.
Ngayon, kayo sa personal issue-based question na iyo lamang at ako'y magtatanong. You have 60 seconds to answer. Wala akong follow-up.
Program.
Isko, pag-usapan natin ang drugs. Let me start with a quote from the President, from President Duterte. Ang sabi niya, I feel so bad about all these things kasi nalaman ko paano ko makontrol in 3 to 6 months ang mga generals na police nandyan. Tapos yung mga Bureau of Customs na inaasahan ko, BI, nasa droga. How will I succeed? Nasa droga. Alam ko na nagkamali talaga ako. Now, magtanong kayo, ang Pilipinas, are we or are we not a narco country? Sabi ng Presidente, yes we are. Sabi ko, tama yung silang mga kritiko ko. Sabi mo, noong nag-presidente ka, 3 to 6 months, hindi ko alam pagpasok ko, Davao lang kasi ako. So ang template ko, Davao, may droga. Pero sabi ko, maglaro ka dun, patay ka talaga. Give me another 6 months. That self-imposed time of 3 to 6 months, well, I did not realize how severe and how serious the problem of drug menace in this republic until I became president. Ang katanungan, you're applying to be the president of the country. Isko, how much do you know about illegal drugs in the Philippines? Gaano kalala ito? Ang Pilipinas ba ay isang narco country o hindi? Depende sa iyong pagkakaalam tungkol sa problema ng illegal drugs dito sa Pilipinas. Ano ang programa mo laban dito?
Well, una-una hindi ako naniniwalang narco country tayo. Unlike, at the time ng Colombian era, in the 70s and 80s, we have not reached that way. That far. But there is drugs, and it destroys family, community, and of course a country. It can destroy a country. Now, in fairness, and I have to give credit when it's due. In fairness kay Pangulong Duterte, talagang halos hirap na hirap, kung hindi nawala, halos mawala yung droga sa kalsada. Nung mag-mayor ako, meron lang akong isang rule na, the way I grew up in the street. Kaya ako, hanggat maaari, talagang dinidiplomasya ko. Na basta ako, zero tolerance. Non-negotiable. Drugs is drugs. If you commit selling, we'll apprehend you. Kakalawin ka namin. Kukunin ka namin. And we're certain about it. Kaya ang drugs sa Maynila, talaga, nag-subside. Almost, masasabi mo, hirap na hirap silang pag-deal. Then, the second thing that I have to give to President Duterte, nawala yung manufacturing sa Pilipinas. Kasi nung dati, dito may mga nahuhuli sa Paco, sa subdivision, sa mga posh subdivision, nagpaplanta ng droga. But the problem with that, nawala nga yung clandestine operation ng manufacturing of drugs. But the thing is, one thing that I found, bulk nang dumarating dito. So there must be something wrong with our borders. There must be something wrong with our ports. So, kasi kung wala na yung manufacturing, hirap na magbenta, bakit kung dumating at mahuli namin 40 kilos, 5 kilos, nahuhuli namin malalaki kasi nakapackaging na. So, I think it's high time for us to address our boundaries, our entries, the port of entries. Then, pag wala na nagpaplanta, wala na pumapasok, then, naturally,
Isko, pag-usapan natin ang drugs. Let me start with a quote from bakit ikaw ang dapat po?
hindi ako magiganti kanino man. Wala akong pagigantihan. Ako, sa dami ng problema, sa bilis ng problema, kailangan natin ng mga tunay na solusyon at mabilis na aksyon. That I can do in my own little.
Diba? Yun yung, bakit siya iboto?
Ikaw ang dapat po? Hindi ako magiganti kanino.
And guys, sa COVID naman, okay, let's see.
Sa kasalukuyan, dalawang bagay ang alam natin. Una, ikaw, ako, at lahat ng nagmamasid sa pag-uusap na ito ay alam natin lahat pinadapa tayo ng virus na ito. Sabi ng DOH,
Still with the question of,
3 million cases sa bansa na.
apat na
And mahigit 50,000 deaths
BBM,
dito sa Pilipinas.
BBM
Sabi naman po ng John
conducted.
Hopkins COVID-19 dashboard,
So, let's see kung
more
ano
than
yung
300
mag-reaction.
million cases
So,
around the world
solution na
and
dito.
more than 5 million deaths globally. Maraming mga Pilipino, mayor, ang nawalan ng trabaho, kabuhayan, mga mahal sa buhay, marami ang nasirang relasyon, mga plano, mga pangarap. Yan ang una. Pangalawa, alam din natin na ang virus na ito ay napaka-unpredictable. 2 taon na natin itong nilalabanan at maraming variants na ang ating narinig. Nariyan ng Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Delta Plus, Omicron. The virus acquires genetic changes, meaning it mutates. Paano, ano ang susunod, nobody knows. It is both vicious and unpredictable. Ang tanong, given the unpredictability and the viciousness of this virus, bilang Presidente ng Pilipinas, ano ang programa mo para sa COVID-19 ngayon?
Well, what we have done in Manila is to really confront COVID-19 and prepare for any worst scenario. We acquire medicines, we acquire oxygens, we acquire facilities, we acquire more medical frontliners. Then at the same time, bukas ang ekonomiya, bukas ang trabaho. So given a chance, may awa ang Diyos, pala rin ako, I'll treat it as an endemic. Because mas maraming namamatay sa ibang sakit sa ating mga ospital, dala nang hindi na nakakapunta, dahil napupuno yung ating mga hospital, private or public. So this, nowadays, if you see Spain and other countries, they are treating it differently. It's like a normal flu nowadays. Now, the thing is, we have to strengthen our vaccination because, sabi mo nga, virus has to be approached scientifically. We must continue to believe in, in this existing antiviral medicines that we acquired in the city of Manila that are existing in the world. Remdesivir, Tocilizumab, Baricitinib, Molnupiravir, may bago pa ngayon, Paxlovid, which we are about to acquire in a matter of few days. So, we have to be ready, always ahead of the numbers of capacity than the numbers of infection. Then we must open. We must offer job. We must open business. We must be aggressive in dealing with this COVID-19. We can learn how to live with COVID-19 and go back to work safely. That is our approach in Manila, and that is the approach that I'm going to do in the entire country.
Okay, Mayor Isko, bakit hindi dapat iboto si Senator Lacson?
Ito.
Senator Lacson? Pwede
Si,
ba boto rin na?
ano kasi,
Senator Pacquiao.
si Isko Moreno,
Okay naman
nagpipiling
siya,
safe
okay
siya
naman.
dito.
Bakit hindi dapat iboto si VP Lenny?
Maghihiganti sa mga
Pero yung
Marcos at
VP
Duterte.
Lenny, tsaka si
Bakit hindi
BBM,
dapat iboto si Senator Marcos?
Maghihiganti sa mga
Yun yung
dilawan
ano
at
ko.
biklawan.
Bakit ikaw ang dapat iboto?
Hindi ako maghihiganti kanino man. Wala akong paghihigantihan. Ako, sa daan.
Isko, ngayon naman ay gagawin natin ang political fast talk.
Pag kukuha ka ng Facebook account, you have to submit the data to prove that you are
nasa social media.
Boy Abunda, picture of Boy Abunda, data of Boy Abunda being submitted before you created an account. Hindi yung 5 email lang, 5 cellphone numbers lang, pwede ka na
Mayor,
magkaroon.
you give this to the platform.
Of course, you have to agree.
Platform.
You have to agree. Hindi ka naman nila pipilitin na to sign up eh.
Nung sinasabi mong I will hold these platforms responsible,
Yes.
ginagawa yun ng maraming bayan, di ba? Nakita natin sa Zuckerberg, for example, in the US.
I saw it.
Congressional-
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
How
they
do
will
you do
make-
that in the Philippines? Para makipag-usap at makipagharapan sa'yo.
Ay, pag hindi nila ginawa, di block ko IP address nila.
Okay.
Wala na silang negosyo sa Pilipinas. Diba? I would
Hindi
love.
kaya magalit sa'yo yung tao.
Well, hindi naman to Mr. and Mrs. Congeniality.
Okay.
Leadership is all about protecting your people. Proteksyonan mo mamamayan mo. Unahin mo tao mo. Yun nasa sakupan mo. That's how you define yourself. Pag kukuha ka ng Facebook account, you have to submit the data to prove that you are Boy Abunda, picture of Boy Abunda, data of Boy Abunda being submitted before you created an account.
Ito sa abortion naman siya, guys.
Specifically, rape-related abortion. Sabi ng pinsan, Philippine Safe Abortion Advocacy Network at Gender Rights Incorporated, isang Filipino woman and girl is raped every 75 minutes. A About 1 in every 8 Filipino women who resorts to abortion is a rape survivor. 70 women induce abortion every hour. Complications from unsafe abortion is one of the 5 leading causes of maternal death and the leading cause of hospitalization in the Philippines. 2012 alone, 610,000 Filipino women induced abortion. Over 100,000 women were hospitalized and 1,000 women died due to unsafe abortion complications. Dahil wala na tayong access to safe abortion in the country, at least, Mayor Isko, 3 women die every day from unsafe abortion complications. You're applying to be president of this country. Sa iyong palagay, panahon na to enact a law on abortion that would allow pregnant rape victims the choice of legal and safe abortion.
No, life is life to me. Same thing that I apply to criminals. Due process of law will be observed. Equal opportunity, equal chance, and the same thing when I value those lives are suspected criminals, yung karapatang pantao nila na may paliwanag ang sarili, the same manner applied to any life. I don't like taking life. So, ayoko ng abortion. But I am pro-choice in terms of other things like kung ano yung mga accessible na pwedeng ibigay ng Estado para sa family planning. But when there is life already, nobody should take it away. Kasi ipinagkaloob ng Diyos yun. Oh, that's my personal opinion.
Pinagkaloob ng Diyos, pero the situation is, ginahasa ang batang ito, ang babaeng ito, nagbubuntis ng isang bata na unwanted. Does that still fall into your reasoning na yan ay bawal?
Dahil yung bata na yun na sinapupunan ng nanay, walang kakayanan, ipagtanggol lang sarili niya. Buhay na yun eh. Life na yun eh.
Pero mayroon kong choice ng nanay.
No, hindi lang yun para sa kanya. Buhay din yun nasa tiyan niya. There is a life inside the womb. Life is life. Only God can take it away, not human being.
Let's talk about abortion.
So, yun yung ano ninyo.
Specifically, rape.
Isa pa. Ay, Philippine Sea na lang.
The West Philippine Sea.
West Philippine Sea.
Pag-usapan natin ito dahil pinag-usapan ng West Philippine Sea, pinag-usapan natin
Napaka-crucial na usapin kasi ito.
ang Scarborough Shoal at ang bahagi ng Spratly Islands. Specifically, the Kalayaan Island Group. Itong mga lugar na ito
Ay po.
ay inaangkin ng China.
Simply
Sabi ng
lady
China,
service
akin ito. Sa Subi, ang tawag natin ay
Sakit.
Zamora Reef. At Mischief, ang tawag naman natin ay Panganiban Reef at iba pa. Nagtayo na dito ang China ng mga hangars, underground storage, missile shelters, radar arrays, and other facilities. Noong July 12,
Simply lady service.
2016, naglabas ng desisyon ang Permanent Court of Arbitration, PCA, pabor sa Pilipinas sa issue sa West Philippine Sea. Sabi ng korte, atin sa Pilipinas ang West Philippine Sea. Pero patuloy pa rin na inaangkin ito ng China. Tuloy din tayo sa pagfa-file ng mga diplomatic protests. As of December 2021, we have filed about 241 diplomatic protests. Sinasagot naman tayo ng China. 152 responses mula sa China. Ang aking tanong, as President of the Philippines, you are also the chief architect of foreign policy.
Exactly.
If all diplomatic efforts fail, bilang presidente, do you think the Philippines is strong enough and prepared to fight a defensive war against China to protect our territorial sovereignty?
Militarily, no. We know that already. But I do believe in a civilized world, in a civilized time, we are guided by law and order. In fact, that's why we are participants of international organizations like United Nations. And in this case, the law of the sea. The court in Hague decided in our favor. It's ours, no question. Historically, it's ours. Under the the Bilarde map, no? The 1737 map, I don't know the specific year. It's is ours. Then technically, it's ours. We are a signatory. The other countries are signatories in that. Then those countries that are signatories in the law of the sea, then must come together and help us. Because the sauce for the gander is the sauce for the goose. Pag sila'y nangangailangan, tayo'y hinihingan. At tuklin natin ang ating tungkulin sa mga pinirmahan nating kontrata, pinirmahan nating
Sige po.
mga agreement. They should come. Now, internally, then that's why I will appoint national defense for the first time in history, if I'm not mistaken, first time, ang chief ko ay Navy. Why? Because we are an archipelagic country. And a good thing for us, there is no disturbance in the eastern border. But the western border, from Aparil to Holo, there is challenges there. Smuggling and the West Philippine Sea. Now, I'll try to be sensible with China. We will be fearless in dealing with West Philippine Sea. We are. At the same time, we will be fair in terms of trade with other countries. That includes China. We must coexist in economic relationship. But we will always be loyal to the Filipino people. The West Philippines.
Yung next naman guys, tingnan natin. Ayan, pornography po.
Noong 2021, year-in review report ng Pornhub, isang online adult video streaming website. Sabi dito, mga Pinoy daw, spend 11 minutes, 30 seconds watching porn, making the Philippines top 1. Talo natin ang France at ang Japan. Some of the known social media sites, apps, Twitter, Snapchat, ngayon ay minsan keeping up with multiple alarin ng Pilipinas. Paano mo ito itatawid sa iyong polisiya on the welfare and protection of children?
Okay. Well, as a parent, you always talk to your children and be reasonable to them. And try to explain them the gravity of the situation, especially kung minor de edad. No? That is the job of being a parent to your children. Wala namang perfectong magulang, wala namang perfectong pamilya, but at the very least that you can do is really talk and try to be sensible to your children. But as a leader, alam mo, Tito, mapalad ako nakapag-aral-aral ako kung saan-saan. Kaya ako, nababahala na more than the porn, no? More than the porn. Another problem with us is yung masyado ng palasak, yung social media, abuse, no? Words, sinasabi mo nga ngayon, pati social media ginagamit as porn site. Pero I'll teach them a very good lesson. This social media company, I'll make them responsible because nagiging outlet yung kanilang mga sites. I'll make them responsible. That all those accounts must be real. Alam mo, may plano talaga akong ganyan na papapanagutin natin yung mga pinagbabaliwala lamang ng mga social media companies na to. It destroys our country. It destroys society. It destroyed already a country and countries because of this pagbabaliwala. Now, and technically, I'll block their IP address.
Yun ang
I'll make
kanina
the
sinabi na pala.
ICT as a powerful agency to go after to this corporation, to go after to this website and so on and so on. Then, I'll start talking to, for example, let's just say GCash, Paymaya, FinTech, or even credit cards, banking system. Kasi para nung mapanood mo yan, kailangan mo magbayad. So there are so many things that we can do. Technically, we'll go after them because I do believe it's an issue. An issue to a person, an issue to a family. And it has to be addressed by the state.
Okay, I heard you. But you're aware na ang isang 12-year-old child can actually get into an app by faking both requirements.
Yes.
Doon yung sinasabi mo na, oh, go ahead.
Yung sinasabi ko na dapat pag kumukuha ng account, no? Pag naggagawa ng account, let's just say para sa mga manonood natin, pinakamadali na siguro, pag kukuha ka ng Facebook account, you have to submit the data to prove that you are Boy Abunda, picture of Boy Abunda, data of Boy Abunda being submitted before you created an account. Hindi yung 5 email lang, 5 cellphone numbers lang, pwede ka na magkaroon ng...
Mayor, you give this to the platform.
Of course, you have to agree. You have to agree. Hindi ka naman nila pipilitin na to sign up eh.
Nung sinasabi mo, I will hold these platforms responsible, ginagawa yun ng maraming bayan. Diba? Nakita natin si Zuckerberg, for example, in the US constitutional.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
they
will
will
you do
be.
that in the Philippines? Para makipag-usap at makipagharapan sila.
Ay, pagka hindi nila ginawa, di black o IP others nila. Okay. Wala na silang negosyo sa Pilipinas. Diba?
Hindi kaya magalit sa'yo ang tao.
Well, hindi naman to Mr. and Mrs. Congeniality. Okay. Leadership is all about protecting your people. Proteksyonan mo mamamayan mo. Unahin mo tao mo. Yun nasa sakupan mo. That's how you define yourself. There are things na what you call them, madalas mo kung marinig dito, maasim man na suka, kailangan mong inumin. Ganun ang pagiging leader. Kaya ka inilalagay para pamahalaanan mo ang tao.
But isn't that a bit too extreme? Ito ang problema na maliit. Alam din natin lahat ang magagandang bagay na dulot ng social media.
Well, you do great jobs. Kung wala ka namang masamang intensyon, kung wala ka namang masamang balak, nothing to worry. Diba? For example, Boy Abunda, check. Blue. Isko Moreno, blue. Confirm account. You cannot just, eto, Tito Boy, bago maubos yung oras. What if I created a Boy Abunda account and I posted something there? Can you be held liable? It's not you. See, that's the problem. So they create more problem than benefits. And we know for a fact, it destroyed a country already at some portion of this world.
There is actually a fake Boy Abunda account.
See?
I've written to Facebook to complain many times over. Walang ginawa.
Exactly. Sino tatakbuhan mo? Ang leader, ang estado, ang bansang kinabibilangan mo. Dapat na kami.
Cyber pornography. Of the Republic of the Philippines. Napaka-complex. It's a gargantuan job. Una, the President is the head of government, is the chief architect of the foreign policy, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Philippines, signs budgets, manages finance, appoints justices recommended by the Judicial and Bar Council, confers the National Artist Award, manages disasters and pandemics, fights drug wars, head of her political party, has power over aliens, has power of eminent domain, practices general supervision over local governments, and pardons convicts, among many others. Mayor Isko, that's how complex a job of a president is. Samantala, sa ating saligang batas, specifically Article 7, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution, ang qualifications para maging isang presidente ay ang mga sumusunod. Natural-born Filipino, registered voter, must be able to read and write, 40 years of age at the day of the election, and must have resided in the Philippines 10 years before the election is held. Kung ikay papalarin maging presidente ng Pilipinas, iyong palagay ba'y napapanahon na para amyendahan ang provision na ito ng saligang batas? Oo o hindi? Bakit?
Hindi naman, marami nang dapat baguhin sa ating constitution. No? But these are the things that hindi naman kailangan masyadong pagtuunan ng pansin. Simply because at the end of the day, it is the people. It is, in a democracy, it's the people who will choose. They will choose high school finish, o may doctorate sa Oxford, o they can choose. Yan ang bisa ng demokrasya. And I think what we should go after is paano natin gagawing mas mature yung ating mga mamamayan sa pagsisiyasat sa ating mga kandidato. O paano tayo magiging responsableng mamamayan sa pagpili. Kasi ang kwalifikasyon, ako naniniwala ako, yung dapat may prueba. Hindi yung ginawa ng tatay ko, kaya gagawin ko, yung ginawa ng asawa ko, kaya ito gagawin ko. Hindi yung ginawa ng kamag-anak nila. Where were you when we needed you most? What have you done for your fellow men? For you to be voted as the head of the state or being a president? Yung prueba is a very good qualification of any candidate because you can dream of so many things. You can think of so many things. You just sit in one whole day in a room, you can think of a lot of things. These are what you call lip service. But wala kang karanasan, hindi mo nga alam ang katatayuan ng paano kumalang ang sikmura. At alam naman natin na napakarami sa demografiya ng ating bansa, yun ang nararamdaman. Then how can you relate? You can always choose words. You can sugarcoat things. You can choose better words to describe a particular society, members of the society. But wala yun. At the end of the day, where were you? What have you done for your fellow men? And I think that's what matters most. More than the education, more than what... Education is needed. That I agree. But you can learn that. Tito Boy, high school finish ako when I entered into government service. And I saw nakita ko yung kahalaga ng edukasyon. Pero hindi lahat doon nagsisimula. Ang nagsisimula ang pagiging leader, yung ikaw bilang tao, na uunawaan mo ba yung kababayan mo, yung sasakupin mo.
Let's talk about presidential qualification.
Yan doon guys, pwede kayong ayun, maging leader. Dapat qualified kayo, syempre. Yung may karanasan kayo, syempre may puso kayo. Hindi naman kailangan na may bachelor. Ito sa poverty naman.
Pagkapataas ang antas ng pamumuhay ng tao. So we created housing. Housing creates jobs. Housing, infrastructure, vertical infrastructure that addresses social perennial problem, which is homelessness or ownership. No? Nag-create pa siya ng maraming industry. Tinamaan ng semento, tinamaan ng bakal, tinamaan ng trabaho, equipment, gasolina, and so on and so forth. So you must be aggressive. That's why when I said, I will continue the build of President Duterte, but build more schools, build more hospital, build more housing. Because this will generate jobs. This will stimulate our economy. And this creates opportunity to business and to the people. So, that's one. And with regard to the environment, for example, let's just say nag-open tayo ng mining, no? Imagine mo, maraming mga nasa bundok, walang trabaho, no? Then, let's start reforestry. Mag-reforestation tayo. Reforest tayo ng magtanim tayo ulit ng mga puno. Then, yung mga IPs, yung mga indigenous people, i-hire natin. Sila ang pagtanimin natin. They know better than anybody else on how to plant trees. So, you address the environment. You open something, it affects something, you address it, and it affects something. So, maraming pwedeng gawin. But I do believe the minimum basic needs. And I remember my professor in UP would always say, MBN, minimum basic needs. When you address housing, education, healthcare, and jobs, this will alleviate the status ang kalalagayan ng ating mga kababayan. That's why, since time immemorial, nung ako'y mag-gobyerno, ito na tinutukan ko. Nung ako'y mag-alkalde, yun ang ginawa ko lahat. Babae, eskwelahan, ospital, trabaho. We've lost 7% in our business. We grew 12%. In 2 years, pandemic, we are positive 5%. We grew in terms of income without raising taxes. Without raising taxes, nag-amnestia pa ako. We've issued the longest amnesty in the city of Manila's history. 6 months, twice. But we generated more income because naging episyente, naging masinop ang pamahalang lungsod ng Maynila.
Yung programa both addresses long and short-term problems.
Yes, the social perennial problem is homelessness. So we wanted to create jobs. At the same time, we addressed that. So you created also helping an industry. Yeah? Ang pagtatayo ng building, maraming beses yung trickling down effect. No? Yung tinatama ang industriya. So when you stimulate, sinagot mo na yung problema ng tao na paulit-ulit, and in fact, nga pala, wala akong slogan. Kasi ang slogan, hindi naman yan na gumagamot sa problema ng tao. In fact, ang tawag ko dyan, porn poverty ba yun? Yung ginagahasa mo yung kahinaan ng tao.
Yes.
So sa akin, sa Maynila, pantay-pantay. Mahirap, middle class, mayaman. Kaya yung housing namin, the in-city vertical housing, addresses homelessness, non-ownership, at yun ang umupahan. Nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon. pantay sila.
Mayor Isko, pag pinag-uusapan ang ito nga, kahirapan,
Sure.
poverty, specifically itong homelessness, di ba, at saka gutom, meron bang epekto ang corruption?
Of course, malaki.
Kasi
Dahil
naalala-
kapag
naalala ko-
matakaw ang... Ito, bibigyan kita
Okay.
magandang halimbawa. Oh, for example, 6 months pinakain namin ng Manila. Bakit? 700,000 families. Sabi kasi ng SWS, with your data, in 2020, September, sabi magkakaroon daw ng taggutom sa 2021. So, ang ginawa namin, kinancel namin ng road maintenance, nilagay ko sa food security program, 6 months kumain ang 700,000 families in the city of Manila. Every month, 700,000.
Salamat,
So,
madam.
yes, it's true. Kapag talagang may mga magnanakaw sa gobyerno, makakati ang kamay,
Tatot po.
kawawa ang tao.
Undersecretary Cyril Ramos said of the DOF that 20% of the national budget goes to corruption, about 670.
He knows better than me. He's a former president.
But you agree?
Well, most likely, it's happening. We saw it eh. May mga nakukulong, may
Corruption
mga
talaga yung
sentensyado
ano ng
nga hindi
poverty.
nakukulong. Buti pa yung naawa ko doon sa isang matanda eh. Nagkamali lang na kunin yung mga
5 million na nagugutom. Bilang presidente,
Ayan, Philippine tip naman guys.
pakinggan natin yung data mula sa Bureau of the Treasury. Nang matapos ang termino ni President Era, ang utang ng Pilipinas ay 2.6 trillion pesos. Matapos yung Arroyo administration, umakyat ito sa 5.1 trillion pesos.
Isa pang utang
Umabot
naman.
sa 6.5 trillion pesos nang matapos ang termino ni President Aquino. End of November 2021, ngayong administrasyong Duterte, ang total Philippine debt is 11.93 trillion pesos. Madalas natin naririnig, hindi ba yung hindi pa ipinapanganak, nagbabayad na dahil sa laki ng utang ng Pilipinas. Ang aking katanungan, kung ikaw ay papalaring manalo bilang presidente ng Pilipinas, how do you intend to pay the national debt?
well, one, we must pay. It's an obligation. And there is no shame if the state will borrow money. It's part of business. It's stimulating cooperation act. Then we can create more development and investment to from our GAA.
Okay, talk about the Philippine debt. Utang.
Ayan yung US Philippines.
We are guided by law and order. In fact, that's why we are participants of international organizations like United Nations. And in this case, the law of the sea. The court in Hague decided in our favor. It's ours, no question. Historically, it's ours. Under the 17, the Bilarde map, no? The 737.
Natapos na po na ito guys.
How much do you know about illegal drugs in the Philippines? Gaano kalala ito? Ang Pilipinas ba ay isang narco country?
We have a 60. Well, what we have done in Manila is to really confront COVID-19
Sa COVID.
and prepare for any worst scenario. Sabi mo nga, virus has to be approached scientifically. We must continue to believe in, in this existing antiviral medicines that we acquired in the city of Manila that are existing in the world. Remdesivir, tocilizumab, baricitinib, molnupiravir, may bago pa ngayon, Paxlovid, which we are about to acquire in a matter of few days. So, we have to be ready, always ahead of the numbers of capacity than the numbers of infection. Then we must open. We must offer job. We must open business. We must be aggressive in dealing with this COVID-19. We can learn how to live with COVID-19 and go back towards it. That is our approach in Manila, and that is the approach that I'm going to do in the entire country. Well, what we have done in Manila is to really confront.
I-edit mo, Pente?
Ano yan?
Ha?
Ayan guys. Yung
Gagawin.
sa ICC naman.
Papayagan mo ba sila pumunta dito sa Pilipinas? Oo, hindi. Bakit?
Welcome kayo rito.
Sa
Wala man tayo
ICC.
tinatago. Our justice system continues to work, and it's effective. Gumagana. Nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. You come here, investigate, do what you have to do. We must continue to recognize our agreement. We are a signatory of this agreement, whether it is ICC, Hague, United Nations membership. We must continue to recognize and welcome these people. So para na sa ganun, bumalik ulit tayo doon sa status na, wala naman tayong ikinukubli. Saka walang dapat kabahan ng sino man kung wala ka namang ginawang kasalanan. So welcome na welcome siya sa atin.
Mayor Isko, maraming salamat. Ahoy, Pete. Bilang presidente,
Doon sa mga
Mayor Isko, bakit hindi dapat papayagan mo ba sila? Bakit hindi dapat iboto si Vic? Mayor Isko, bakit hindi dapat iboto si Vic? Kung ngayon naman ay gagawin natin ang political fast talk.
syempre mga
Unpredictable. Ang tanong, 67 mabisang tulong natin sa world.
Yung sa FW guys.
We should put professional people in our embassy abroad. Yung labor officer natin. Kasi kita mo, ilan na ba ang naapin natin mga kababayan? Ilan ba ang naargabyado natin
Bakit
mga
kasi-
kababayan? Mga kontrata nila hindi nire-recognize. Iba ang pinutok, iba ang sinulat dito bago umalis. Pagdating doon, iba ang ginagawa. How do they get protected? And yet you're telling me that billions and billions of pesos or dollars ang pinapadala dito. Ang pinapadala dito. They don't get reviewed.
Yeah. When you become president, do you look forward to the day na malaki ang mababawas sa ating migrant workers?
I'm hoping so. With your help, with the help of everyone and the investor, building trust again for the country's credibility as a country of nation, certain of rules, predictable, and that's very important in investment.
Ano yung pananaw na tinatawag natin silang bagong bayani?
Well, ginagahasa din ng ating mga OFW ng mga politiko. Tinatawag lang na bagong bayani. Saka nakakita ng bagong bayani, pag nag-positive sa airport, pinagbabayad natin ng 6,000 pesos. That's why we offered Manila COVID.
It normalizes the risks of working abroad.
Di ba? I mean, parang bagong bayani, pag dumating dito, kawawang-kawawa. 6,000 pesos nagbabayad. That's why we offer Manila COVID-19 till the hospital for free for OFW. At the very least that we can. So, iba yung mabisang tulong natin sa OFW. Yung polo. We should put professional people in our embassy abroad. Yung labor officer natin. Kasi kita mo, ilan na ba ang naapin nating mga kababayan? Ilan ba ang naargabyado nating mga kababayan? Mga kontrata nila hindi nire-recognize. Iba ang
Pro-choice, bakit hindi dapat iboto si Vic? You are a signatory. You are a member. Sa'yo. Now, bakit? Isko, ngayon naman ay...
keep your
Mayor Isko, bakit hindi dapat, bakit ikaw hindi dapat, hindi ako,
Diba?
bakit hindi dapat, we begin. 67 material. Ang record kasi, at kasama ditong ilang sustainable mining companies. Mayor Isko,
Wala na, yun na lang.
we begin. We begin. The welfare, nasa isipan ko man.
isip
Ngayon,
So,
what we have done in Manila, and safe.
so far guys, yan.
ko alam mo
Wala na guys. Yun na lang. Ayun. Sa TikTok na lang inano kasi nakakat na siya. Kasi pag papanoorin mo siyang buong buo, so medyo mahirap. Kasi 1 hour and something siya. Diba? So far, si Isko okay naman siya. Kaso lang, diba, may issue siya. Political butterfly. Kung sino yung, doon siya. Diba? Sa Manila. Pero yung sa experience naman, magaling naman si Isko. Tsaka, diba, consistent siya sumagot. Unlike kay, straight to the point. Unlike kay, Leonard Red. Dami pang paligoy-ligoy. So, yun lang. So, importante na. So far, okay naman siya. Yun nga lang, iba-iba siya, hindi mo siya alam kung saan siya kakampi kasi. Di ba? Si Isko Moreno. Pero sa experience, saka sa talino siguro, pag hindi lang siya ganun dati, susuportahan ko pa. Di ba? Pero may mga konting issue siya. Well, political butterfly. So, okay naman yung project niya. Tsaka, madiskarte naman siya. Tingnan nyo naman yung Manila. Napaganda niya naman. Siguro kung senador siya, ay hindi boboto ko talaga siya. Saka ngayon is pangalawa na ata siya sa mga surveys. May mga concrete plan na rin siya para sa poverty tsaka job sa Pilipinas. Tsaka tingnan mo naman yung Manila, di ba? Pero, since nga hindi mo siya sigurado kung ano ba yung magiging isip niya. So, I go for... nagmulaga kasi agad siya. Oo nga. Senador siguro muna. Na kailangan niya may napatunayan naman siya pero need niya pa na more na mapatunayan. Yun lang guys, yung masasabi ko. So salamat po Simply Lady 17. Shoutout po sa'yo. Tsaka importante na siyempre malaman natin yung mga platforms nila. Kahit hindi man tayo pa-pour sa kanila. Siyempre ako, di ba? I go for BBM pa rin. Wala siyang sinisiraan tao. Wala pa rin siyang sinisiraan, di ba? Dead man lang kahit ang sabihin sa kanya. Sabi ng iba, para daw mati yung vote. Kaya pinatakbo nila si Mayor Isko. Yun lang sabi. Oo nga eh. Yun din yung sabi. Pero malay mo, di ba? Piling ko talaga hindi mananalo yun si Robredo. Kasi nga, di ba? Hindi siya, matalino siya, pero wala siyang diskarte. Mahina. I'm not saying po na dahil babae siya. Pero tingnan nyo naman yung mga lawi siya magsalita. Tsaka hawak siya ng mga politikong So, yun lang guys. Yun yung ni Boy Abunda tsaka Isko Moreno. Kinap na lang natin kasi So, ano pa ba? Although, ayun, may talaga siya. May plano siya sa pag-unlad ng lahat naman sila may mga plano. So, siguro bukas, tingnan natin ulit si let's see for Manny Pacquiao ata, I think bukas. Or mamaya na. Let's see po kung magkakagawa pa rin ako ng bukas for Manny Pacquiao. Diba? Nakakano lang kasi Manny Pacquiao, no? Ayun, sabi niya, wala naman problema. Yun lang kay Manny Pacquiao kasi kulang din siya sa experience. Saka sa kadami-dami ng mga trabaho ng president na hindi basta-basta. So, I think hindi pa siya qualified. More experience pa siguro. At saka pag-aaral niya pa, di ba? Nakuha niya yung Nakakuha siya ng 6 months, I think, sa Makati University. Political Science. Ako din naman gusto ko din si Isko kasi malaki yung naitulong niya at malaking improvement naman. Oo. Pero nga lang, din siya, allies din siya ni Juma season, I think. Maganda naman yung Manila. Parang nung nakaraan kasi sinakyan na rin yung si Duterte, yung niya, di ba? Dati kakampi niya si Duterte, nilagay nga siya sa mga department. Undersecretary siya ng DPWH ata. Tsaka mga alay siya ng yun. Basta ba nga yung issue talaga sa kanya is, wala siyang, hindi mo alam kung saan siya papano. Parang siya. Hindi mo alam. Ayun. Red, hi po. Thank you so much, guys. Simple Lady 70, thank you so much po. Let's see. Kasi marami pang namang mangyayari sa susunod na mga araw. Kasi, diba? Mga development. So, di mo pa alam kung sino yung yung totoong mananalo sa araw ng election talaga. Lahat naman sila may mga kanya-kanyang mga projects or whatever. Pero 'di ba? Minsan kasi yung mga alam mo yung mga politiko wala naman din yung pagbabago po ay nagsisimula sa sarili natin. Tsaka wala naman sila magagawa kung hindi nakipag-cooperate yung mga tao sa Pilipinas. Hopefully ay maging okay na. If sana matupad din yung mga pinangako nila kung sino man lang yung mananalo president. Kasi hindi basta-basta yun. So, linawin ko lang. Isa po akong BBM supporter din. So, titingnan natin yung kung ano maging magandang mga proyekto ng iba, syempre. Ayun, thank you so much po. See you tomorrow sa another live reaction video naman natin. So, yun, si Isko Moreno. So, sa inyo yan kung sino yung iboboto niyo. So, papaalam na po ako. Panalo yun si BBM, sir. Magkagulong mo to. Oo nga, kasi tingin mo naman yung mga nangyayari doon sa mga karaban niya. Saka maraming mga Ilocano na nagsuporta sa kanya. Nakagulat nga din yung mga karaban na nangyari. Di ba? Tapos, simple, okay na ba yung channel mo, sir? Oo, okay na siya. Na-monetize na ulit. Monetize na ito yung channel ko. Kaso nga lang yung mga subscribers ko, since hindi na ako nakapag ng niche ko ng TikTok compilation. So, thank you so much po. Tsaka, sana magkita ko kayo ulit next time. Simple, Lady 17, thank you so much po. Magpapaalam na po ako. Yung mga concrete plans ng ating mga nagtumatakong president. Ayun, bye po. Ganito ko kayong lahat.